guys, how are you today? Welcome back to my channel, Adventures in America. If you're new to my channel, my name is Jocelyn, and for today's topic, we are going to discuss the latest travel restrictions in the Philippines starting October 8 based on the latest Interagency Task Force resolution. Now, this is the best news that we've ever received in the last 18 months. Fully vaccinated individuals from green or yellow list will now only have a 5 days of hotel quarantine, and the RT-PCR test will be on the 5th day. Also, the pre-booked hotel will now only be for 6 days. So you must have at least 6 days of hotel quarantine or pre-booked hotel accommodation for fully vaccinated individuals from green or yellow list. I will provide the information later on which countries are either in the green or yellow list. Please take note, US is now included in the yellow list. So for US passengers, you can now have 5 days of hotel quarantine starting October 8th. Now, for those unvaccinated or partially vaccinated or individuals whose vaccination status cannot be independently verified or confirmed by Philippine authorities as valid and authentic, and if you are coming from the green or yellow list countries or territories or jurisdiction, you will have to undergo 7 days of facility-based quarantine, and your RT-PCR test shall be taken on the 7th day. But now, foreign nationals shall be required to have their own pre-booked accommodation for at least 8 days. And you will have to continue home quarantine until the 14th day from the first day of your arrival. Now, this task force resolution number 142 provided the verification confirmation of your vaccination status. So it is important that you provide the acceptable vaccination certificate. Now, if you're an overseas Filipino worker and you have your spouse, your parent, and or children traveling with you, you will need a certification from the Philippine Overseas Labor Office in the country of origin. Second, if you're a Filipino and you are a foreigner fully vaccinated in the Philippines, either you will have to provide your VaxCert-PH digital vaccination certificate or BOQ issued international certificate of vaccination. Now, if you're a non-overseas Filipino worker and if you are an eligible foreigner fully vaccinated abroad, the national digital certificate of the foreign government which has accepted VaxCert-PH under a reciprocal arrangement or Bureau of Quarantine issued ICV. Eligible passengers to the Philippines. First, Filipinos. Filipinos have the right to travel. Second, dual citizens. Dual citizens are those who possess another citizenship and can come to the Philippines provided they must have a foreign passport or a Philippine passport, or if there's no Philippine passport, must bring the dual citizenship document. There are 3 pages to the dual citizenship documents. Another set of passengers are former Filipinos. Former Filipinos can travel to the Philippines whether traveling alone or whether traveling with their foreign spouse or foreign children. If traveling with a foreign spouse or foreign children, the foreign spouse and foreign children can also avail of the Balikbayan visa, which is valid for 1 year visa-free in the Philippines. Here are the only foreign nationals who can travel to the Philippines provided you secure a valid and existing visa at the time of your entry. First, if you are a foreign spouse and your Filipino spouse in the Philippines, you must have an entry visa from a Philippine consulate abroad. Also, if you are a foreign parent, it doesn't matter if you are traveling with a Filipino child or if the Filipino child in the Philippines, all foreign parents must secure an entry visa from a Philippine consulate abroad. Another set of foreign nationals allowed are children or foreign children with special needs of Filipinos. The foreign parent must have a visa, and also foreign parent of Filipino children with special needs regardless of age, this foreign parent must have a valid visa. Other foreign nationals are accredited foreign government and international organization officials and their dependents, foreign airline crew members, foreign seafarers with 9C visa, and also immigrant visa holders 13A, 13B, 13C, 13D, 13E, and 13G. And another type of special resident and retirees visas are also eligible to travel in the Philippines. Please remember, a pre-booked hotel quarantine is required before boarding the plane. Otherwise, you will be denied entry. Now, based on the latest press release from the Bureau of Immigration, there's actually one country or a territory that is included in the travel ban, and that is Bermuda. And this travel ban is effective from October 1st to October 15th. So that means all passengers coming from this Bermuda territory shall be denied entry in the Philippines if you're coming here within the last 14 days, except those who are transit passengers or those who are Filipinos under the repatriation program of the government. Now, the Bureau of Immigration also released 49 countries included in the green list, which means that if you are an eligible passenger and you are coming from any one of these countries in the last 14 days, the green list is for those passengers who will be able to avail of the shortened quarantine, and you must be in these countries in the last 14 days. So the new green list countries, there are actually 49 countries, and it will be effective from October 1st until October 15th unless removed or renewed by the government. So here are the list of countries. Please remember that the green list or the yellow list or the red list, I think the government is just putting more rules that are more confusing because the green list is always changing. Another new rule is that you must register at least 24 hours through the Onehealthpass, and this is for quarantine purposes. Here is the quick checklist of requirements before traveling to the Philippines. Number 1, you must pre-book your hotel depending on your vaccination status or depending if you are coming from a green lane country. Another requirement is that 24 hours before your departure from your foreign country to the Philippines, you must have or register through the Onehealthpass and present the QR code. Also, you must download the Traze mobile application for contact tracing. Regarding the health protocols, of course, you must wear a face mask and a face shield. You must download the Traze mobile application. And also, the ECIF form must be completed before flying to the Philippines. For those of you who are flying through PAL, there is a separate ECIF for PAL passengers. Also, if you're flying through the Cebu airport, there is a separate ECIF form for Cebu passengers. Now, for all other non-PAL passengers or those who are flying through a foreign airline, you must register through the padlab.ph for COVID testing. Please remember that there are now 6 ports of entry in the Philippines: Manila, Cebu, Clark, Lawag, Subic, and Davao. Please be aware of the specific requirements for each of these port of entries. Now, there is an important reminder for those non-overseas Filipino workers or those non-Filipino passengers on Middle East flights to Manila. So if you're coming from Middle East and if you are going to Manila, your flight will arrive at the Ninoy Aquino International Airport, Terminal 1. Your RT-PCR test will be administered by the DOH-accredited PAD lab. Now, if you are traveling through PAL or Philippine Airlines and you are going to Cebu, there is a separate ECIF or electronic case investigation form for Cebu passengers. Also, all arriving international flight passengers are required to register not earlier than 5 days prior to departure. A travel registration number or TRN will be generated once registration is complete. Now, if you are arriving in Lawag City, here is the requirement. In compliance with the provincial government of Ilocos Norte, requirement for pre-flight COVID-19 screening, passengers are required to present a negative antigen or RT-PCR test result showing the date of specimen extraction was not made more than 48 hours prior to scheduled time of departure. The test result must be presented upon check-in and upon arrival in Lawag. For those arriving in Davao, in compliance with the Davao LGU requirement for pre-flight COVID-19 screening, passengers are required to present a negative RT-PCR test result showing the date of specimen extraction was made not more than 72 hours prior to arrival in Davao. The test results must be presented upon check-in and upon arrival in Davao. For those arriving in Subic, you must register through the ECIF Red Cross for your COVID testing. Now, if you are an overseas Filipino worker, make sure to register through the balikpinas.ph or the OWA Oasis program of the government so you can avail of the free hotel, transportation, COVID testing, and food. I will send the link in my description for all of this information. For all passengers coming from a green lane country, there are strict rules that must be complied with if you are going to avail of the shortened quarantine. First, the port of origin is a green list country or territory. Number 2, you must stay exclusively in a green list country in the last 14 days prior to arrival in the Philippines. Number 3, you are fully vaccinated whether in the Philippines or abroad. And number 4, the vaccination status can be independently verified or confirmed by Philippine authorities as valid and authentic upon arrival. Everything that I've discussed today in this video, I will provide the links in my description. Again, guys, if you are planning to travel to the Philippines and your travel is really not essential, please postpone or delay your travel. Again, for all of you who recently traveled in the Philippines, please share your travel experience and let us know what you think of the travel restrictions. Also, you can include your local government unit and also the travel restrictions pertaining to the local area. Again, thank you guys for tuning into my channel. If you have any other questions or comments, please post them down below and I will get back to you as soon as I can. Again, thank you guys for tuning into my channel. I hope everyone is staying safe and have a great day.